Does your aim suck? Do you constantly change your sense because Tens does? Is your mouse grip absolute garbo? Well, this video will answer all questions regarding to mouse sensitivity, settings, and grip. Alright, first thing you want to do, you're going to go here on the search, type mouse, and mouse settings should show up. I think my camera is blocking it, but it's there. Okay, now you go into additional mouse options. You bring this tab over. There's going to be some tabs at the top. You want to look at pointer options. You go into there. You're going to want to head over to this box right here. This is the most important part. Any other tabs you're just going to leave alone. You're going to head to the slider. You're going to set it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th tab here. The 6th little what is this called, like tick. You could use your arrow keys if it's on a different tick. So you set it on that, and then you're gonna untick enhance pointer precision. So yeah, you're gonna want to hit apply and okay, and that's gonna be all for these settings. Once you're in Valorant, you're going to want to head into the range for the future parts of the video that I'm going to explain. But before that, you're going to go into settings. Sorry, I don't know, I was about to leave the game. Into settings, sorry. Go into general. And here in the beta RawInputBuffer, you're going to want to have this on. What this setting does is it basically sends the inputs from your mouse directly into the game without it having to go through the operating system and then into the game, which having it on decreases latency, which is very, very important. While we're in the range, we're going to talk about the next topic, which is going to be mouse grips, how to hold your mouse, how to find the best mouse grip for you, and all of that. Okay, there are basically 3 main types of mouse grips. The first would be palm grip, which is basically when you have most of your hand touching the mouse. So that's basically having your whole palm and your fingers flat on the mouse. This is what is called palm grip. Next grip would be claw grip. It's basically a palm grip, but you roll your fingers up like this, and that basically makes a space here in between your fingers. It raises the top part of your palm. This is the mouse grip that I use. The third grip would be fingertip, which looks like claw, but it's basically what it sounds like. You hold your mouse with your fingertips, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see there, but my palm is completely off the mouse. So out of these grips, I would say the easier ones are palm and claw. I say the easiest would be palm grip in terms of time to get used to. I use claw grip because of the shape of the mouse and the shape of my hand, and just because it's personally more comfortable for me. To find out which one would be more comfortable, you could try each one out individually in the range here with bots. You want to be able to feel as comfortable as possible holding the mouse and have full control. Next thing would be the arm sleeve that I have on. You might have noticed it already. I have a thumb hole cut out to have part of my sleeve cover the bottom half of my palm because it touches the mouse as well. And this just reduces lots of friction on the mouse pad, which makes it way more comfortable and easier to flick around with my mouse and not be held by the mouse and not feel the mouse pad, the mouse pad on my arm. So you could try that out if you'd like. They sell them at Walmart and sports stores and that. It's really down to personal preference. You could definitely try one out. Ever since I tried one, I really can't go back to not having it on. I always have it on. It's just way more comfortable in my case. So yeah. Now to find the best possible sensitivity for you. We're going to start this off talking about DPI and EDPI. DPI is basically the dots per inch of the mouse is basically, usually mice have this button here on the top, which changes the most simple way is changes the sensitivity basically of the mouse. I have it right now. I set it to 400, which is the slowest on my mouse. If I click it again, it's on 800 DPI, and if I click it again, 1600, which is the DPI that I use. It's the most comfortable, and yeah, it's the one I prefer. Okay, once you know the DPI you have, you're gonna want to calculate your EDPI. So EDPI is your Valorant Sense times your DPI. So in my case, I can whip out the calculator here. In my case, my Valorant Sense is 0.19, and my DPI, as I said, was 1600. So times 1600. That gives me an EDPI of 300. So calculate that and have it ready. We're gonna need it now. Now you're gonna want to open up your browser and type in PSA calculator. And I've tried this one, but I used this one for my case a couple of weeks ago. Now that you're in the page, it might look a little weird, but we're going to calculate our starting sensitivity. And how we do that is we go back to the calculator, and you're going to input your EDPI that we got earlier, which is for me is 304, and divide that by your DPI. So it's like we did earlier for the EDPI, but now we're taking the result of that multiplication, which was 304, and dividing that by our DPI. So I get 0.19, which is the sense that I'm currently using. But before I got this sense, I was using I had a different EDPI. It's just coincidence that the sense that I use now is the one that I get here. So I put 0.19 on the right here. It says lower, higher. This is the base, which we put right now, and we're gonna focus on the ones on either side. So you're gonna want to go into Valorant and try out the low sense, which for me would be 0.1, and the higher which would be 0.29. What you're gonna want to do is try them out and see what's most comfortable, what comes more naturally to you. Once you've done that, you're gonna want to go into the left part of this page and choose whether you liked the lower or the higher. We can go into the game now to give you an example. Okay, once you're in the game and you're in the range, you're gonna turn off bots, get out the Vandal or the Phantom, and you're gonna put in the lower sensitivity or the higher sensitivity, whichever one you want to start with, and you're just gonna start shooting the bots, see how it feels. It's very important to keep in mind how natural the mouse movement feels for you. What I mean by that is you're not struggling if it's lower. If it's too low, you're not struggling to move, or it feels too clunky, or if it's too high that you feel like your precision is way too off and you're shaky. You have to keep that in mind. And this is also very important that you're able to do 180s, but this sense is kind of hard for me. I gotta use the whole mouse, and I'm moving the camera here because I'm using the camera to hold my the mouse cable. This is very hard for me to do 180s on this sense, but if I try the 0.29, which is my higher end of the sensitivity, I'm able to shoot quite well, but it's a little shaky for me. It's a little too shaky for me, but of course on this sense I'm able to do 180s fairly fast and fairly comfortably. Once you've chosen one or the other, you're gonna go back into the page. Once you're here and you've chosen one of the two, in my case I'm gonna choose higher. It's gonna generate another set of numbers down here. Now the base would be 24, the lower would be 12, and the higher would be 36. And you're gonna keep trying these out and keep picking iterations. So let's just pick random iterations here. You keep testing those out, keep choosing higher or lower, and then once you're on the 7th iteration, it'll pump out a perfect sensitivity here. Once you've reached the 7th iteration, it's gonna pump out this number down here, and this should be as close as possible to the perfect sensitivity for you. And of course, it's not going to be 100% perfect. Maybe you liked 0.13 more, which is one of the base sensitivities, and that's perfectly fine. You can keep trying one of these out, or maybe run this a couple of more times to figure out which one you like more. And yeah, once you've done all of that and you've chosen sensitivity, I really recommend just sticking to it. It's very important to, not switch your sensitivity all the time, because I used to do that and my aim got very inconsistent because of it. But yeah, it just makes for very inconsistent aim. So once you've chosen one, just stick to it for a while, and trust me, it'll improve. Just keep on practicing the range, death matches, and trust me, it'll be fine. Maybe at first it's a little weird, but just try it out, play a couple games, and it should be fine. And yeah, this is gonna be all for today. I hope this helped some of you out there, and I'll be back with some other videos in the future. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like, dropping a sub. Anything helps, dropping a comment. And yeah, I'll be back very soon. See ya.